Ooh, hey, good morning, good morning. Well, sorry for the delay. I was delayed severely this morning, but we have made it on time. Well, not on time, but within the window that we normally stream. My name is Ace. I am a hobbyist. I am learning how to do a fully complete work through in Blender sculpting characters. I'm sculpting characters to be used in a webcomic that I have written. I've written an entire volume and I'm designing the characters for that webcomic. This is the second character out of seven that we need to start actually doing character turnarounds and pages for the first part of the webcomic. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical issues here. I'm trying to do everything at once. I still gotta grab some sculpting stuff. I'm trying to remember exactly what I need to do. What in the world is happening? My camera is acting very stubborn today. I just want to be able to control my camera. For some reason, the stupid widget. Okay, now it's come up. Oh my. Hey, welcome 99. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I'm just trying to adjust my camera here because it always and forever is working against me. Okay. Yes, and now we're gonna be continuing what we did on Wednesday here. Let's see, I'm trying to get my bearings here. What the heck were we doing? Hey, Piping. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I'm doing fine. I had a very chill weekend. Not much more. Oh, yes. I've been learning the steps after the retopology for these meshes here. I have a pretty good idea of how to do the UVs and the texturing in Blender. I normally, when I learned, I did that in Substance Painter, or I would just do it in ZBrush. But we're going to try to do everything. It looks like that I can do everything that I normally would have been able to do in the other two programs right here in Blender. So that's very good news, and it seems easy enough. I'm just trying to get an idea of how I'm going to personally do my workflow. But pretty soon, we'll have some progress made in that in the latter half of this workflow. I think we have this down. We can sculpt the character fine. Maybe probably need to work on the anatomy a little bit more. But I'm looking at the back here. It's a little undefined. I need to figure out like this person, a person with this kind of body type. I need to see a picture of what their back looks like. Did you find learning to sculpt in Blender difficult? No, I had originally learned how to sculpt in ZBrush, and it's actually really easy to sculpt in ZBrush. At least it was for me. I've been drawing since I was very little, so it was easy for me to grasp. I don't know, like if for if say like for instance, if someone does not have any drawing experience and they go just straight into sculpting, I don't know how it's going to be or how easy it was going to be to learn. But for me, as an already, I was already, I guess, something of an artist myself. It wasn't too bad. My first sculpt was not great. I wish I had kept it so I could show you, but um, it was just a sphere with a face cut into it. But about in a few weeks, I had something close to this, so it wasn't too bad, and I was able to transfer some of that into working fully in Blender. And sculpting itself in Blender is not too different, not too different or difficult, but it's just the other technical stuff like UV unwrapping. I did that with a press of a button in ZBrush. Like you just literally just hit Z remesh, and it clones your mesh for you, so you don't really screw up with your original mesh. And you don't do that here. Pretty much, you do everything like with the you have to do all that stuff yourself in Blender. That's probably the and that besides the whole connecting the nodes together, that's really the only thing that I'm trying to get into a muscle memory. Trying to hammer that into my workflow so I can just do it. But other than that, no, it wasn't too hard. Just some differences. No problem. No problem. when I was learning to sculpt, what I did was, well, I did do it like this at first, but I didn't like the way my sculpts were turning out. And, of course, it was because I was new at it. But so what I was when I was learning to sculpt, I had switched to using pre-made like body, like a just a nondescript man or a woman, and then just sculpting from that. But then eventually, I found a workflow that I can do it from the sphere, like we've been doing for these meshes here on the stream here. So I'm happy to be able to learn how to do it from scratch a little better than I was when I first started out. Oh, right. Sorry, I just need some sculpting stuff here. I use anatomy for it's just a lot of practice as an all artist, it seems. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. And sculpting is very helpful with references. I use anatomy for sculptors. That's what I'm trying to gather right now. I have a lots of references that I've collected over since like 20. No, matter of fact, even before that, I started collecting references in 2009 when I wasn't even. I had taken like a period of 3 years of just not drawing, like from 2000 and 6. I drew a little bit in 2006 and 2007 to about 2010. I started drawing again. That's mainly just work stuff that I had that I just didn't have time for it, or I should say I did not make time for it. I could have easily done all of this back then, but I did not. I could have just made the time, but I didn't. So it was kind of like learning, and then on top of that, I decided to learn a new medium, which for me was digital art. I started that in 2011, and it was kind of like relearning how to draw all over again. It's something that you have to. I feel that you have to keep doing, even if you're good at it. You kind of have to, de-rust a little bit once you start taking years off from you're spending time years away from drawing. I'm sorry. I need to. I'm still getting the references together, so we're going to start real soon. I think today was going to be a short one, but it's going to be all right. We're going to return once again to form in a way, I guess. uh, I have a huge folder full of references and art I want to learn. Yeah, same here. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you right now how big this folder is. It is 24.3 gigabytes of just images, and then I have a whole other folder for like tutorials, like because learning this, in these programs like Blender, Maya, ZBrush, etc., etc. I got to see how it's done. Okay, so learning how to use those programs, I have tutorials for those too, and just different methods of doing things that I felt that I would be interested in doing in the future. Really, all I have to do at this point is just make the time for them, of course. And I have about well, I didn't know it was that big. 364 gigabytes. Yeah, and it took me like 3 hours to organize them into like specific folders. Like I got one for animals, old art that I've done in the past. I gave that its own folder in case I ever wanted to do like a redraw, or like remember an idea that I had. Places. My webcomic has its own folder, of course. References from games, creatures, comic art, whatever. Anything that I felt that would either inspire me or teach me something, even just full on um like something that someone put together, like how they do something, like a tutorial, I guess, but in a JPEG. I have those too. Those That's under guides. People. Under people, I have anatomy, armor, body, clothing, faces, flesh tones, hair, all kinds of stuff. So it kind of takes me a minute to grab whatever I need. I'm looking for. of course, a body type here, and whatever. If there's something specific I need, like a person like this, their neck, this whole area is going to be shaped different from say my last mesh. So I'm trying to, I've been looking at stuff on Google to see if there's anything out there that could help me try to do that a little better. And that's what we're going to try to. I'm going to try to do some body tweaks here and there before we. Well, shoot, I think this is a whole. This is an entire body, so it's literally just tweaks at this point before we go on to the retopology. And thanks to I did that too, but my art is separated by a year. I just have old art, it's all in one folder, and it's like all the digital art pieces that I've ever done. So it's easy for me to find just like that because I can look at it and see like, oh, I know which year it is. And of course a lot of it is has the signature on it. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to do like I'm going to redo my sig. I have an idea for a signature that I'm going to sign my art with when I start posting again. Hopefully we'll get around to doing that. I have a lot of stuff that a lot of a backlog of projects that I want to do for the stream and for my art that I haven't been able to get around to. But we're going to get to them. Sometimes it takes a bit, but I try to, stay, I try to, if I say I'm going to do something, I try to do it. So we're going to keep trying to get those things together. And there's one more thing that I want to do. Oh yeah, Judicious gave me something that was useful. It was actually a picture of the Big Show, and at least from the neck up, he kind of has what I'm trying to do with this character here. So I'm just looking for that picture really quick. I don't have too many pictures, too many references of someone of this body type. It's only very few. I didn't think, I wasn't sure how like what what kind of body I was gonna give this character. Like I had it in my head, but it was mainly just like him being clothed. So it's been a very interesting learning experience, trying to sculpt someone who isn't muscular. So I can't really follow all of the references that I have because we tried that and I kind of gave him a sumo wrestler look. That's not really what I was going for, even though it didn't look too bad. But and of course, besides a little bit of mistakes with the anatomy here or there, I'm sure that will come with time. Okay, we're gonna try to do the best that we can. Like I'm not gonna try to do half measures here, but we're not gonna be a perfectionist about it. All right. I think if we just try to do the best that we can at the at any given time, then eventually we'll get to where we want to go. Where the heck is this picture that I've had here for? I hope it's not a WebP file, whatever how the heck you say it. Sometimes those don't immediately appear for some reason. I don't know. I have trouble finding those for some reason. He's not under this. He's not under muscle. He's the Big Show. Why wouldn't he be? That's where I put him, right? I hope they didn't. I hope I didn't put him in the wrong folder because then I'm just gonna have to go without him because I don't want to spend any more time looking for this guy. Like I was thinking of like a John Goodman, you know, a John Goodman type body, but he's had some different body types over the years. So and he's always clothed, so I can't really tell exactly what that means when I say body like John Goodman. It's just you only have the silhouette to go off of. Right now we're sculpting him, so you kind of need more than that. I mean, you keep that stuff in mind when you're sculpting, but as far as the anatomy is concerned, that's where we are. That's where we need to be a little more specific. What in the world? I don't know where this freaking picture is. And I remember specifically placing him in one of these folders. He's not in muscle. He's not in big, even though he's the Big Show. I mean, of course, that's where I would put him. Okay, yeah. Apparently, I screwed up. Um, and I have no idea where to find this guy. Okay, no problem. I have a backup picture. It's no big deal. I went and got a couple more things. All right, we're just kind of wasting time here, but that's okay. Let me go back into anatomy really fast. I don't have the luxury of wasting people's time. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, we have a default here. Just get this guy. Okay, I have a back, I have a side, and I kind of have a front. All right, that's good. That's good enough. It's the big show. Yeah, it's the big show. You know what's crazy? That you have to kind of when you have that condition like the giantism. I think it's giantism. I don't know if that's the proper term, but I'm just gonna call it that. I'm sorry, but it's crazy that in order to stop yourself from your body from killing itself, you have to remove those glands out of your body in order to stop the bone growth, all the because you just keep growing when you have that condition, right? That's at least that's my understanding of it. Like he has the same thing that Andre the Giant had, but Andre the Giant didn't get his glands taken out. I'm coding. I'm wasting my own time. Oh man, don't even get me. I want to try to create a game one day. I follow a lot of people who create games, and it makes me want to do it because I have some ideas too for that. Um, it won't be anytime soon, but because I want to do like when I lock this down, when we have a steady flow with the web comic, I want to try to um practice some animation. But then after that, I definitely want to try making a game at some point, whether it be for fun, or profit. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But just a game, I don't expect my first game to be. I don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe if it's at least for a few bucks, right? But anyways, I want to try to make one, and it's I'm definitely going to try after I get some animation experience in. I do dabble in it, as you can see. My yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm not saying quick, just not difficult. Yeah, I feel the same way. Pipe in, I actually feel the same way. Um, I feel like if I can do this, and people were telling me that there's really not much coding that you have to do these days because of how the engines and whatnot work. But at the very least, um, I do want to try to make like a Minecraft mod at the very least. Like that's gonna be like my starter kit, right? And then oh, I wish this guy wasn't in shadow. Like he has the light in front of him, and the side that I'm looking at is kind of shadowed from here back, and that's kind of not helpful. I don't want to look for any more uh, references right now. I'm just not totally prepared for this today, but I didn't want to not stream today. I want to try to keep at least try to keep to my schedule when I can. It could not be helped today. I had to start late. But yeah, I have some ideas. I have some ideas. That's part of the reason why I've been doing I'm doing game plays usually in the evening. Not usually, but sometimes do gameplays in the evenings of certain days. Basically, whenever I feel like it, and when I feel up to it. For RPGs, because that's what I want to do. I want to try to make an RPG of some kind, at least something with RPG elements. I have an interesting idea or ideas that I would like to try out. You do know you can count on us for your game design help. You're most likely gonna see it at least from the very beginning. Like I will literally draw the concepts of what I'm putting together here. So you're gonna see it, and any input's welcome. I don't like I said, I'm not really I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. I'm learning here. We're all learning here, okay? I always imagined myself doing uh something like this where, it's kind of like people come and you know, take and give, I don't know, some kind of learning knowledge of any kind. I don't know. That's kind of a weird way to put it, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't see myself as a teacher, but maybe there's something that you could learn, you could pick up from me. I mean, that'd be cool, that kind of cool. Depends on how much you want to derail from what's already made. A mod should be more time consuming than difficult, unless you want to add, I don't know, a whole other game to Minecraft. What I want to do is, I want to start with some texture blocks because me 99, Judicious, and a few other people who stopped by in this chat. There are times where we all end up playing Minecraft together at some point. We are currently in a server. I have not been on it lately because I've been busy with other stuff, but we're all builders essentially. Okay, we like building stuff, for fun. You'll probably see that sometime in the future, maybe even the near future. If we start the server, or I would definitely start, like, if we ever like do the server again, like start like do a restart, which we normally do. I will just immediately start doing Minecraft streams, from start to finish. And I don't know how that's gonna go, but normally we all end up building something pretty cool. Okay, and if you like Minecraft or building, um, then you can expect that. But like I said, we're builders, and we always like try to look for blocks to build with, that fit our thing. And what our well not our but Judicious made his own pack, and sometimes we help him with the input of what goes in, or how things are configured. And I was thinking of Builder's Delight only mods, that we can enjoy, and others, of course, because you can download this pack right now. It's called Builder's Delight. Um, but Builder's Delight specific mods that are made for decorating. I want to start there. Okay. Hype, more Shadow Hearts. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do a stream later. 99. We have to stop the reverse demon's gate from opening. I think that's what was going on, and we have a tough fight ahead of us. We gotta fight Dehuai in his ultra demon form, and he's got petrification. It is a brand new threat that I'm not prepared for, so this will be interesting. Push comes to shove, I could probably just go back downstairs and grind a couple of levels and beat him. So I'm not really too concerned about it, but yeah, that's what I got to look forward to. Okay, we got a fight that I lost twice to so far. Trickster's Bloom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna put that in. Anything I can think of, anything that I feel like that, if we can find a version of it that's not OP, if we can make a version of it that's not OP, that we enjoy, that we don't have in the pack, I'm gonna try to put it in the pack. Okay. But yeah, that's like probably like a small, realistic project. But as far as making an actual game, I just really just need to hammer out the story. I have some ideas, but I just need to, like, figure out how everything is going to connect and whatnot. I want to do something like that, and that's gonna be a fun thing to tackle, especially like making the character. Because right now, I have adapted a workflow that is for making video game characters. That's kind of like I kind of stick to. I picked up a couple of things that people do, when they make sculpts for video games, and I'm already incorporating it into how I make sculpts. Even though we're just using these for reference, these should be game ready. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. This guy looks like he's been corroded, so I need to fix that. Oh yeah, we haven't done the remeshing yet, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. What I was more concerned about was the neck length. This guy's kind of has his chin raised, but I think this is good because he's middle aged. He's not super in shape as far as looks, But I've seen people like this run for miles, so it's not too far. Like, he's doing strenuous work. He just doesn't have the the tone. He doesn't have the look of someone who has an athletic build. But this is basically this is like a government agent type guy. What level of Shadow Hearts is this? Shadow Hearts is an RPG. I don't know if you ever played this. I'm just gonna say Oh wait, that's you realness. I'm sorry, because Piping has a purple name too, even though yours is longer. I don't know. Sometimes I only see the color. Okay, I look right at what you typed and not who typed it. Sometimes I apologize for that. What level of Shadow Hearts is this? I don't. I have no idea. Your title says Shadow Hearts. Oh, I did change it, didn't I? At least I thought I did. Oh crap. Maybe I didn't save it. All right, hold on. I'll change the VOD later. Okay. We gotta do a we gotta do a quick fix. I must not have saved it. Thank you for telling me realness. I had no idea. I could have sworn I changed. I was actually changing this right before I see art. Yeah, we're just gonna put just bare bones art time and then art. I put the tags and everything. Let me take the tags off PlayStation 2. I should just leave it on because I'm gonna play Shadow Hearts later. I'm just gonna end up changing it back. Yeah, I thought I changed it. All right, whatever. Thought I changed it. I'm sorry. I did change it, but I must not have hit save. What can you do? You know, like I said, we're all discombobulated here. We have to get used to switching from art to games now. You know, every time we add something, it's like a and that's like a huge adjustment that we have to make for some reason. You think this stuff was easy, but you know, it just takes some getting used to. That's all. But I do enjoy doing it, so it's no big deal. Uh, okay. Shadow Hearts. Twitch is strict about that too when they actually care. Yeah, I thought I just didn't hit save. I guess we'll have to hit done again. Okay, what the heck? Almost didn't do it again. Okay, it should say art time now. Hope let me know if it does not. Oh yeah, believe me, I know. I used to warn people that I followed regularly. I don't get to see much Twitch these days after you know streaming so much. I started streaming regularly in March, and I did before then. Besides not counting the ones that me and 99 done on his stream with the co-op stuff, you know the co-op video games and whatnot. I think I did about a total of like 13 streams by myself, like between 2013 and 2019, and it was just like whatever. I just felt like doing it. I would just turn the stream on and play something. People will watch. That was the interesting part. Every now and then I would probably say something on my headset, but you know it was basically just completely silent. You could probably get away with. Well, I don't know. You could probably do it now, but you know back then you know people watched it and it wasn't a big deal. And but I only had like 6 followers. But I saw that people were watching them, so I was like, okay, I'll just keep doing it. And then I stopped. I actually stopped to write my webcomic because I was like, okay, I got all these art things, okay, and I haven't really committed to any of them, all these art projects. So I was like, okay, I had this. I've been sitting on this idea for like almost decades now. Let's do something with them. All right. So I decided to write my webcomic story and eventually do animation, starting with the webcomic though. Um, I took some time to write that for a couple of years, and besides just editing it and proofreading the story is done. So all we have to do now is just design the characters. Keep using my likeness. You will have to buy me dinner at 10% for my manager. Welcome in F Mead. How do you is that how you say it? F Mead or Fmead? I'm sorry. I don't honestly. I don't know. Besides photography, I don't know exactly what that reference is. So it always feels weird saying your name out loud. But I'm sorry if I'm. I think the first time. Um. Okay, F me Yogi. Okay, right, Yogi. Okay, okay, yeah. And I was sitting in a low basis stream. I remember him saying or people calling you that, but I wasn't. I didn't inquire any further. You know, as I told I don't personally know you, so I don't know if it'd be all right. Be like, hey, Yogi, hey, what's going on? I think the first time I addressed you, I just said photography because I wasn't sure what to say. Hey, Photography? Very awkward. Anyway, welcome into the stream. I'm just doing some tweaks here. This guy, I want to make sure that there's no clear separation between the head and neck before I hit remesh. Also, I was very mistaken about the polygon count. I was looking at when I'm texturing my other mesh right now. Not right now, but usually when I'm off stream, I texture it because I'm still learning that. So I'm just doing it off stream, and that usually requires looking for stuff and and trying to figure out how what to do and watching a video or two. I don't want to do that on stream, but eventually we're just gonna be able to do something start and finish without looking at anything except for maybe my notes here. Yogi is more acceptable than most things, but I answer to everything. LOL. Okay, all right. Some people get a little weird. If it's like a personal name. I'm also known as Ace in real life. I've had that name since birth. And there was a time where only people who actually knew me would refer to me as that. But it didn't matter. Like if someone heard someone else call me Ace and they call me Ace, like I wouldn't mind. But I know I've run into people over the years who don't like being called by their real or personal names uh, by anyone they don't know. So, but that's so I wasn't too sure about the Yogi. But yeah, we're just covering up our little mistakes here. Oops, covering up our little mistakes here so that way we can. Oh, okay. See this here? This is the separation line that I'm trying to cover up. All right. That's why we have that there. Once we remesh it, then we can smooth it. We can't smooth it now. It's kind of weird. Some streamers they have some streamers like people who play PS4, they might make their real name on the account for whatever reason, or it might come up if you sub to them through PayPal, and then you go, "Hey, um Connor." I'm like, "Man, don't call me Connor. What the heck?" And then ban you. And that never happened to me personally, but I've seen it in a chat. I've seen it. I don't do that. I don't get too personal with people, especially people that I don't know, like that. Um, Now that's like years of rapport, before we start getting not all comfortable and stuff. It's a little faster for other people, but you know what I'm saying. Happy little mistakes. Yeah, yeah. I see a lot of real names on like I said, people who make their real names on their accounts or it's tied to their Twitch, and I don't think that's a very good idea to do it that way, but people do it, and it's fine. It's a lot of there's also a lot of people who are involved in esports, play fighting games. Their name might be out there as well. So at that point, it doesn't matter anymore. But sometimes it could get a little problematic. My name is so common here; it's irrelevant if someone knows it. LOL. Yeah, I hear you. I know. I'm just saying that some people are a little particular about it, even if they make it available. So I just try not to I just just will just stick to the usernames. You know what I'm saying? Pipe is short for Felipe here. Oh, I didn't know that. Um, I haven't been too far south, for real. I live in the United States, of course. I'm in the Northeast. I think the most southern that I've ever been. I think. Oh, I'm, I'm getting I'm getting a little weird with geography here. I should know this, but I think Louisiana is more southern than Georgia. I haven't looked in the map in a while as far as that part of the United States, but I think that's as far south as I have been. I've been to other countries as well, but I don't think those countries are more southern than those as far as where they are on the globe. But yeah, I'd have to check. I have to check exactly where I was in California as well. I was born in San Bernardino County. I'm pretty sure that is not more south than Louisiana, but you never know. The most northern I've been is southmost Peru. Oh wow. Yeah, I only know of that area because of that, that plane wreck that they had down there, and I think there was like a few. There's very few movies that take place in that region too, and of course, it was a movie that that I've learned of the plane crash that they had. I think this was in the '90s, maybe '80s, '70s. I don't remember, but I think Ben Affleck had a movie where he went down there. They had to go, stop some drug lords or whatever. I don't remember, something on Netflix. But there's not a lot of things down there as far as where the media, the media doesn't really do much with that area. The Los Andes, yeah, Los Andes, Andes or Andes. I always said Andes. Plane crash in the '80s. Yeah, I think it was the '80s. Yeah, they made a movie about it, and of course it was a real event. And they had some. I guess some people had to eat each other, which really sucks. But I can't imagine. I can't imagine having to go through that. Let alone being in a, first you got to survive the plane crash, and then that's not even the end of it. Now you're stuck in the mountains. It's cold. I'd rather deal with the heat than cold in that situation. But then you have to deal with the cold, and then now you're starving, and now you got to pretty much eat each other and hope that somebody finds you. It's really 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 tough situation to be in. And I don't remember what I was looking at, but I knew I like I said, I think I brought up the vulture, before. I don't remember how I know that, to be honest, but it may have been research for this story here, and I just came across that. I'm not sure. The condor, yeah. I have a scene in my webcomic that takes place on the I think it's called the Falkland Islands, and that's like close to that's near the tip of South America. I don't know. Maybe at some point uh I came across that bird. I'm not sure. I did a lot of research for this story because obviously I'm not a scientist. Even though it's sci-fi, I'm not a scientist, so I had to like look up a lot of things that I wanted to try to make sense of, to try to make it sound like it has a realistic explanation or it comes from a theory or a science or whatever. But we'll see how well that translated. there's an actual there's actual pages and story for people to look at, and we can see. I'm sure there's gonna be a I don't know. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I'm pretty confident in it. It's the very least. I hope it will be entertaining. But it's like my first real attempt at writing something, so we'll see. I think we can remesh this now. I'm not really seeing anything else. I can't think of anything that could be possibly wrong with this that I could fix. Uh, Maybe we can put some like, well, that's more tertiary. I've learned that these little details that I've already put in, I shouldn't worry about until during the baking process. We got the primary and then like the secondary forms here, like the bony landmarks. That's more like a secondary form. But wrinkles and lines, these are more tertiary. You don't really do these until like much later in the workflow that I've seen. I'm slowly trying to adjust what I'm doing here, so that way we don't spend too much time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save it, and then okay, we gotta remesh this. I should be able to just hit the button. Yeah. Oh yeah. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. My other mesh is was also very similar to these numbers. Okay, I just forgotten about it. But during the baking process, this number will drastically be reduced, and we'll have the same amount of detail. So that'll be really good, and that will translate well to if we ever get to create a game character for an actual game of our making. Of course, I'm not really looking to join the industry in that way, like in someone else's game. I don't see myself doing that, but I could definitely attempt to make my own game. That would be nice. I'm gonna hit remesh now. See what happens. I can hear my computer hit kick into high gear. Watch this number double, triple. Wait, no, it actually went down. That's not good. We don't want it to go down. That's actually not good. We don't want it to go down when we remesh. We want it to go up when it remeshes. So let me set it to, let me go down by 0.002, and then hit remesh again, see what happens. Fans are on. Waiting, waiting. Okay. 18, not bad. Because I looked at my other numbers and my other numbers were like in the 20 mil range. So we actually really did spend we actually did this in less polygons than the last one. That's actually a good thing. And I know exactly what I did this time. So maybe we need to optimize our notes for the future. I felt that I remeshed a lot a lot not a lot mess a lot less. Wow, I feel like I remeshed a lot less this time. It didn't seem that way because I've forgotten the numbers. But when I was learning on the other character how to do what comes next after the low poly remeshing or low poly topology, I saw where the numbers were at for the high poly. I was like, oh, okay, so it really is less than before. So maybe we'll keep doing it the way that we have been doing it. And what I did was, uh, with the circle, after you smooth it out, pretend this is at one. We did at one, and then I immediately cut that in half, so zero point 0.5. And then from there, I just kept going down by halves until we reached this part. And totally just winged it, but it seems to be less than before, so which is always a good thing. I want to try to do as much as I can with lesser polygons. We don't want to go overboard. I feel like that's you want to get your it's kind of like like sketching. You kind of want to get your all your fundamentals and your form in, with as few lines as possible, or something like that. You don't want to like I personally chicken scratch my sketch. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Okay, it's a sketch. You can there was a time where I felt like, okay, you can, it's not in stone. We're just like trying to fill out what we want, right? You can put as many lines as you want, but if you're trying to get from point A to point B in a timely fashion, and you need to learn how to, get your forms in, and that's probably something that we need to work on there. Because, like I said, the hardest part for me, as far as 2D is concerned, is starting, and not to say like what to draw or how to draw it, but like just putting all the pieces together. Kind of hang around in the sketching zone a little too much, and then as the picture begins to evolve, I find myself doing more corrections than anything. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because like I said, it's a sketch, but and I see people spend a lot of time on sketches when I watch other people draw, so I don't feel so bad about it. So I feel like as long as you get what you want in the end, it shouldn't really matter, right? Unless you're under a time limit. If you're trying to reach a deadline, then yes, you should learn how to draw what you're trying to draw, with as few lines as possible. Get the basic forms and fundamentals and silhouette, whatever. I don't know. It's kind of it's a very complicated thing for me to say because I'm self-taught. I just learned how to to get what I want out of it, and then like later on, trying to refine that by looking at what other people are doing. Some of them are happen to be professionals, so I don't think it's a good idea to completely disregard, even as a self-taught person, what other people are doing, because there's always something you can learn from that. So okay, we have the surface now. It's all one thing, but we still have that little crease there. So we're gonna try to get rid of that crease. there are creases here, right, in the neck, but not like this. So we're going to try to smooth that out a little bit. That's basically what we're doing. It's just gonna be a just gonna be we're gonna be tweaking some stuff, and then next time, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to start the retopology of this character, and I can get to about, hang on, because our computer is loading. I think that was an autosave because it doesn't lag when I do this. So, but anyways, yeah, we can get to about right here. I can't retopologize this on Twitch because his cheeks are gonna be all in the screen, and Twitch ain't gonna like that. So yeah. Now the one thing that we have to correct for retopology is we have to make them nice and neat, much neater than the last mesh. So we're gonna try to do that. I'm gonna spend a little more time on that. We're gonna get every plane, and by that I mean under here, all around the eye, pretty much every surface that you make, you want to get that in your low poly mesh because that will help you get this all this detail on once you bake the high poly onto the low poly. Now, I'll tell you this: when I did do the high poly mesh, or sorry, the low poly on my high poly on my last, the fingernails actually came back. So all I have to do really is just kind of like redo them again. But if we have the polygons there, we won't have to do that. By the way, I didn't see the start. You begin with a base model and then you change it. No, that's how I learned. No, I begin with the sphere. As soon as you start the program, you get a square, or a cube. Delete the cube because apparently that's like a custom for Blender. The first thing you do is delete the cube, and then put a sphere there, and then just go from there. And what I do is, as soon as I get to a point where, when I get to here, and I'm not going to stream this mesh, I'm going to I'm going to try to wait until I get to that point, and I'm just going to do I'm going to do our third character from scratch again, and you'll see it then. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. By the way, yeah, but it's yeah, that was a little more. It was a little more challenging to try to get an idea of how to do that because I did attempt to do that in ZBrush when I first learned, and actually did not have a solid way of combining the meshes, and it just looked, I don't know, it was, like I said, it was my, I wanted it to be more, I wanted it to be more, but it was just literally just me learning how to sculpt and not being satisfied with the results, even though I thought I did it pretty good. I actually have a picture of that sculpt too. Let me see if I can show it to you real quick. It's actually my second sculpt. I deleted the first sculpt because it was completely destroyed, but in every way possible, it was destroyed. I'm gonna try to find a safe for work picture of this character here. Here, this is a good profile. This is my second sculpt from scratch, and you can see the line here. It's actually not together. This is my second one. All right, my second attempt at sculpting, and I'll show you my third attempt. Oops. I'm gonna get you a safer work one here as soon as I can find it. Sorry for all the delays. I'm a little discombobulated today. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right. They figure without joining the parts. Yeah, yeah. It's that was my second scope, and that was like 2 weeks after. This was like 2 weeks of work here. Where did I put that thing? Was it? Ah, it was okay. And this was a few weeks after this one. Third sculpt got a little better. and this was actually fully textured. You can see there's lines here. You can kind of see the neckline. Like I put the tertiary forms in there, but and I also sculpted the teeth and the I had to take time for that, the eyes and whatnot. But this is all done in ZBrush. This is the third one. I hadn't learned how to do hair yet. That's why they're bald. And then eventually they became closer and closer to what we're doing now. There's two more sculpts in between. No, sorry, no, not two. There's four more sculpts in between this progress and what we're doing now. Practice sculpts, but it just takes time. Just a little time. I really wish I kept the first one, but I was so embarrassed. And this was when I hadn't planned on showing this on stream. I was gonna wait until I had my characters completely designed and then just do the webcomic pages on stream. That was my original thing. But once I started grasping this more and more, I was like, you know what? I could just stream this too. I could just stream the design from like start to finish of all my characters for the webcomic. I don't know if people do writing on stream, but I had already had the pages written. I'm pretty sure you'll see some of the dialogue. I guess I can do the lettering on stream. I don't know. I never really thought about it. It was always meant to be art and maybe some games here and there, but definitely art. I definitely planned on streaming the art. I wasn't planning on going this far, but I don't regret it. It's pretty fun. I don't even and I wasn't. I also wanted to wait until I had a full workflow too for this, but I was like, you know what? Let me just go on. People do writing on stream. I hung out with a streamer while they wrote a short story. Oh, okay, all right. EJ Strong from the Web's Discord streams writing and rap. Oh, okay, okay. Well, then I will consider. Well, when it comes to combining the two, the art and the writing, yeah, you'll see the writing then because it's already written. So it's maybe volume two because I do have some other volumes planned of this little expanded universe that we made here. um, I want to. I had an original story when I was a kid, and this is sort of the prequel to that story. It's not totally changed from those days either. I'm just writing it as an adult, trying to make it make sense as an adult. I wrote a lot of edgy shit when I was a kid, so I some of it has to be at least adapted into a better story. Oh, and writing with the bear just streams writing, I think. Okay, okay, yeah. Well, I will consider. I will find a way to do that on stream for this project. Like I said, it's already written, but um, if there's any last minute things I need to do right before I put it on the page, I guess I could show that. I don't really mind. All the things that I can show on Switch. There are some mature themes and some violence. We're going to stick to as close to the rules as possible. I probably won't show a lot of the stuff that happens. Like I don't know. I'm not even sure if I would show people getting like shot because some people do get shot. I don't think I can show that. I don't think I should show that on Twitch. I want to keep the art portion of these streams as accessible as possible. I don't want to put I don't have to put the mature themes on it. You'll just have to see the completed page for those. I guess maybe some hand to hand stuff. That's fine. I guess it's not really too brutal in that. There's some martial arts things in the story. I can do that like that. But yeah, we're right now we're just figuring things out. We're just figuring it all out. And one day we'll have something nice and solid. And we'll just be able to just get on. I can we can shoot the stuff all we want, and I can just bang out one of these no problem without having to stop or look for anything. I don't expect to be someone like Kim Jong Ji and do everything from my head. I've never been. I never. I don't know if I could just sculpt something from memory. I guess I could try it one day. I like using references. I don't see a problem with using references. I'm not going to criticize anyone for using references. But I have drawn without reference before. It's not too bad. It's just it's much faster when you have a reference. So okay, we're slowly getting there. Let me see. Let's try to. I'm gonna try to. Should I try to inflate it? Yeah, why not? Just little tweaks here and there. Yeah, I had the sense to keep those two attempts at sculpting. I wish I kept the first. I really wish I did. I actually regret it. I don't. There was a time, there was a period where I was like, man, and that's mainly because of the website that I used to post on. I posted my art, and they always on certain websites, and they will always encourage people to prune their work. If it's not completely representative of what they are capable of. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just start over and just like make uh like an online portfolio from scratch? And there were some people who had some reservations about that, and I'm glad that I did not go through with that. And even though as bad as that first attempt was, I actually regret deleting it now. And I tried to look for it. Maybe there was an autosave somewhere, but no, I just couldn't. I don't think I have it anymore. Hey, Ninja Trig, welcome to the stream. Let's see. I always laugh at the joke. You think you know how a horse looks until you have to draw one from memory. Yeah, and that's gonna be interesting. I really like drawing like a creature design type thing, and animals are a very great reference for those. So I look forward to that because the anatomy really, that like getting the anatomy together for a creature is that's it's very satisfying when you make something that's believable and it just works, as opposed to I know a lot of people who do like me, who do characters, and they'll do creatures that are more humanoid because they know how to draw humans. And while I am not opposed to that, apparently I've seen the other way. I've done like more animal like stuff, and it's way more fun when you do that with animals. Front of the horse like a horse, the back half looks like two shotguns. Little Wayne kind of did that with rap. He rapped everything from his old notebooks, and then oh yeah, nah man, I don't want to like I have everything that I've ever drawn and posted. I have it except for that first sculpt. I didn't think it was worth keeping at the time. I shook my head, I laughed, and then I just deleted it. I was like, all right. But then I was like, I should not have deleted it. I immediately regretted it. Not too long after that, I was like, dang, I wish I had kept that. Just so I can, because once I just started to show uh the learning process of these scopes, I was like, man, yeah, I should have kept that, because then I could show people how I like exactly what I did when I started, and that could be helpful to someone, so they don't get to, because it's very easy for people to get discouraged when they're trying something new, and they might not have the determination that you had, even though you went through the same thing. I was intent on learning this because I saw what like if I was like, I wanted to see how my pictures would draw or would turn out, if I had like a very accurate reference, because that's how I learned how to do creatures. I made my own version of a chimera, and I used a dog as the basis of the anatomy. Let's see. You know what? I might have that. I think I have the studies that I did. Let's see. Actually, I might be able to show you that too. Actually, I know I have it. I just gotta find it. That's how I might have that. I do have that. I don't even remember. I actually don't remember doing this stuff too either. I remember learning how to do creature design, but I wasn't really. I don't actually remember doing some of this stuff. Oh yeah. See, I made something. This is like the creature, right? I use a dog, as you can see, and then I kind of like hashed out the anatomy of a dog and where all the additions to that I would make to the dog. This particular design had like a T-Rex tail. I don't think I went with that, okay? And and then of course like bone protrusions out the back and horns and whatnot. I did all of that. And hang on. And here's what I'm talking about with the sketching. This is how I used to sketch back in the day. I was like, it's very rough, right? It's just me just like chicken scratching the lines in, and then I would slowly try to solidify the idea as it went on. And here's some designs of it too. I ultimately went with this one right here. And that's kind of like the process. And then I did a dog study. This is a picture I found on Google, and I did a study of it. It was a very muscular pit bull. This was in 2014. I remember the year. And here's the grayscale. This was back when I was still learning grayscale. There's a couple of things I could have done better, but this is the final product of that slowly taking shape, of course. And here's the final picture, 2014 sign. This is what it became. I didn't really do the snake. This is more like a bone club tail that he hits his prey with, and the bacteria from on this here would be the poison, would be the snake um part of the chimera, the snake tail. So if he hit you with that, the it would be the bacteria that would infect you and slow you down, and then he of course he could breathe fire. That's what it became. And that was my first real attempt at doing a creature design. I didn't really push it too far into the mythology of the chimera, but the next time I do a creature, is I really want to like really try to make it more like a creature. I guess that was a very muscular dog. It almost looked like a human as far as the anatomy. But I mean, since I saw it on actual dog, I was like, okay, well, let's try that. Looks like FF's Bahamut, the one that's a feline, not canine like yours. Oh, they actually have a chimera that's oh, behemoth. Yeah, the chimera is basically that, really. Um, let me see. Let me show you. Let me see if I have a picture, because I actually took a picture of one of the monsters that I was gonna try to like do like an art, like a fan art of later on. Let's see. It's better being the right folder. I swear. I got it to where I know exactly where to look, but sometimes things get misplaced. Oh, it would be under games, of course. Maybe I looked in the wrong spot, right? Come on. Come on. I see that thing all the time. And now I don't know where it is. You know what? I'm gonna make a folder just for Final Fantasy. I'm gonna have to go even deeper on this, okay? I'm gonna have to go even deeper on this. Every single subject needs its own folder now, because I'm tired of this. It's a one little simple thing that I just wanted to show real quick, and now I can't find it, and I see it all the time. Is it under animals? It's supposed to be for real animals, not fake animals. Can I try searching for it? What's that thing called? Of course, it doesn't come up. What's funny is that I have Behemoth right here. Like here's the Behemoth, right? That's more of a like a canine, right? And I'm just trying to find the Chimera now. I like the Chimera more personally, but Behemoth, when they do variants of this type of monster, sometimes it looks really cool. I just can't seem to freaking find it right now. So I can show it. Just a quick and easy show, but now I don't know where I put it. And if it's not in the proper folder, I don't know where the heck it is. The little wings, just imagine that Behemoth. Oh yeah, that would be pretty scary for anybody who has to fight that thing. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Yeah, I have no idea where it is now. I actually don't. It's like seeing a cockroach fly. Yeah, I don't want to see that. It's not in the Minecraft, is it? Of course not. Sometimes I gotta look, okay? Because sometimes when I hit save and it'll save in the last spot that I save that I save something else in, and that's not normally the correct folder. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why I can't find this. I may have to look for this some other time and then show it. I'm gonna check animals again. I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. What the heck? Literally, it would have taken 2 seconds if it was in the right spot. Is it under color? No. It's not in the comic art because it's not a comic book. For some reason, it's not under games, which is where it should be, or creatures, which it also could be there. I may have to reorganize this stuff again. I have a macabre folder, but that's usually for like humanoid like characters. Yeah, I may have to look for this some other time because I have no idea where it is. No idea. Okay, yep. Okay, so that's a to be continued for Chimera. Sorry. To be continued. I'll show Chimera some other time. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, that's so weird. And you know what's funny? I see that picture all the time. I don't know where it's at. Like literally all the time. When I'm looking for something else, I see it. All right, that's enough. I tried. But yeah, it's Final Fantasy XI's version of Chimera. And oh, you know what? I have one more solution. I can just Find a picture of it on Google, of course. Did I just hear thunder? I'm going to show you the exact one that I was going to try to show that I have a reference of on my computer. This is Chimera, okay? I thought this was really cool. I wanted to try drawing this. But this is a special type of Chimera that's in Final Fantasy 11. He has like powers. This is supposed to be. This is kind of like the same idea that I had. He has a scorpion's tail, sort of, instead of a snake. And I think Final Fantasy 14 actually did have a snake on theirs. I'm not really sure, but I took it and more made it K9, and I put like bones, kind of like this. I did not follow this at all, but it's very similar in a way. Yeah, Manticore with a stinger thing. Yeah, yeah. Their Manticores in 11 are different. They have totally different Manticores. They're more dragon like, I guess, like demon like, I would say. It's very yeah, it's very different. Hang on. I'm gonna show you 14s because theirs is like mad different. Yeah, here we go. I'm sorry, this is some web forum somewhere, not an actual picture, but this is 14's version. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess that's also a stinger, and they have more heads. I think this is 14's version. Where did this come from? This is 14, right? I hope so. Anyway, it's closer to this. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that's 14's. Yeah, that is a chunk. But basically, yeah, it was I didn't do the multiple heads. But I did do the poisonous tail, and I was gonna put like a deer head, just something different. It's a chimera, right? It's three different animals, but I ended up just streamlining it into something that could be more natural. Maybe on some other planet somewhere. I may revisit that design though. I mean, why not? But I think it's what is it? Lion? It's a lion with what wings, snake tail, and maybe another head or two. That's the gist of it, right? They are quite dangerous in Final Fantasy 11. Okay, if you run into a Chimera, and it's usually something that appears in when certain conditions are met. It's not like the single player ones. Actually, you know what? I can't remember the last time I fought a Chimera in the single player Final Fantasy, but I think they could just be random battles, maybe a boss, maybe a secret boss. I'm not really sure. 99 could probably offer more information on that. But in Final Fantasy 11, chimeras, you have to usually wait days for them to spawn, or it's like a special fight or something like that. And yeah, you don't just fight them. Some of them even level up. Like some of them, like they have, like I said, they have the ones in 11 have mainly electrical spells, and they absorb electricity. So when they'll what they'll do is they'll cast like Thundaga 4 or something like that on themselves, or Thunderbolt. I'm sorry, no, Behemoth has Thunderbolt. But anyways, yeah, they'll cast like Thundaga 3 on themselves or whatever affinity element. I think there are some that have fire, and they'll level up. And when they level up, um, they'll do moves that stop you from using your abilities, like your a limit break. The version of our limit break in 11 is like weapon skills. They'll like empty your bar, or they'll give you some kind of debuff or whatever, and they'll just keep doing that over and over until they can just kill you. and yeah, they're very problematic. There are some like the one that I showed you that if you let them level up enough, it doesn't matter how strong you are, they might actually be able to kill you if you let them level up like more than enough times. Let's see. The original Chimera had three heads, but the tail was the third one, Snake. Yeah, okay, okay. So you make it only one head is okay. And it was that project that I showed you. Um, that was the start of my uh interest in like trying to come up with a workflow, and I feel like that workflow helped my all of my art overall. Even though like normally just draw like humanoid people, but that was from a Skillshare class by there's an artist out there who did a lot of like realistic Pokemon, and they're in the industry. They work for Ubisoft or Detective Pikachu, like they did designs for that back in the day when he was just known on the internet. Um, he had a creature design credit. He's really good at doing creatures, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me see how he does this, because just doing it, just emulating someone is one thing, but once you understand their workflow a little bit better, it kind of helps if when you try to like find the things that you like and incorporate it into yours. And that's where the start of me using references really came from. That it came from that project, and that was in 2014. That's when I started. I was like, oh, okay. And then later on, after I wrote my story, I was like, you know what? If I did that with my characters, how would it turn out? Oh, thank you so much, Pipin. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for stopping by as well. I hope whatever what you're focusing on. I think you said you were doing. Hold on, let me scroll up because I forgot. You were doing work, right? Yeah, coding. That's right. You were coding. Yeah. Well, I wish you the best for your coding. I hope you whatever you're trying to do that you're able to do it. One day I will learn it. I hope it's not too bad for me either. uh, it seems easy enough, It's just like if this happens, then this should happen, right? And you just type it in. But I don't know if it always. I don't know if it's always that way. I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's the gist of it. But it looks like it. I don't know. I've seen a couple of configs in my day. I'm not going to say I'm a coder, but like I said, we've configured a lot of mods for Minecraft, and I've seen a lot of configs that look similar to that. So I always imagine that coding would be too far from that. Okay, I'm gonna try to make a line back here. Now his neck isn't actually. You know what? Let me erase that because I'm looking at someone who has his chin raised, and of course that's going to cause a line in the back here. So we're gonna forego that for now. Maybe we can put like a crease there that's from over time when when you have a crease, the crease will stay regardless of where you're looking. And some people do have that crease, like if they have like enough fat on their neck, you'll see the crease. They'll see like a crease there. I don't know if that's from looking up. It could just be from from the added fat, but I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm not a I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to understand the form of someone of this body type. That's all. And we're gonna just continue with our tweaks. I know we kind of got sidetracked a bit. I'm sorry for that. Actually, you know what? I'm not sorry because I get it's like I said, I like it. I like it's fine. I'm sorry. All right, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I try not to get sidetracked too much, but I just wanted to show where I was coming from as far as the Chimera project and in the comparisons, you know, to where I was coming from, where I was designing the creature. I think I definitely had some behemoth and Chimera from 11 in mind when I was doing that. I actually don't remember why I chose Chimera or a Chimera. Sorry, it's actually spelled differently in 11, and I guess in Final Fantasy in general. So instead of Chimera, it's Chimera. But they do have actual chimeras. Well, not named chimeras, but they're like they're called lamias, but they're basically chimeras. And they're like snake people. I know you, some of you know, like a nagi, like that. In that world, they are the chimeras because they're built from different creatures and whatnot. Blue mage is also a chimera because they take creature parts and infuse with them and their essence or whatever, and that's how they can do the magic from other creatures. It's a very interesting lore. I think that's probably one of my favorite worlds in lore of all Final Fantasy is 11. I really like the way they did the world. They put a lot of thought into it. As much thought as you could possibly put into a an online game. You're not going to get that with a single player, obviously, because you know, even though it could be multiple discs, it's single player, and you know you kind of have to tell a story. It's more about the story. But with 11, they really it really has a lot of sandbox elements into it, and they put a lot into the world. I like the way they did it personally. It's kind of like a medieval slash like a really primitive medieval sometimes, but also it has some futuristic stuff in it too. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe one day I'll play through it, and I can just show you myself like exactly what it is. Anyway, I'm looking at the neck. I'm not sure. Like the lines here are good. Those are okay. Because I see that being a thing. There are going to be some lines that come this way, like the because you know you have the V shape tendons, muscles here. That's still going to be there for someone of this size. So the only problem is I don't have a great reference of that. So we're going to try to, but we're going to try to put that in there. Let's see. I don't think there is anything more that we can do. I did notice that on both of my sculpts, the biceps come down too far to the joint. You know, when you have bicep, kind of there's like a space under here. Oh, you can't see it. There's like a space right here where the bicep kind of stops there. And well, maybe not really. I don't know. When I was looking at it before, it seemed like it's. I was looking at my arm before, it seemed like it stopped. I don't know. It could be just be like like the position of the arm that kind of gives that away. But that's something I need to look at. Is that part right there? I'm not too sure about this part. For it looks fine here, but on uh my other sculpt, it seems a little weird. I need to take a look at that. Anyways, you kind of I don't know. I feel like there's like some form there already. I don't know. I can't really remember if I did that. What that? How about that? Maybe something like that. Just very subtle. You know, I don't want to go too far into it because, like I said, I don't have I don't have a reference. Sorry, I was gonna say license. I'm discombobulated. I'm screwed up. I'm twisted around. All right, I'm twisted up in the trees. I don't know why. I'm not gonna go too far into this for obvious reasons. I don't want, like I said, he's gonna be clothed most of the time. As long as we get somewhat of an accurate thing here. I'm following a reference of someone who has a much bigger belly here. The shape looks good to me. We're not gonna put the nipples on any of these things. I'm probably never gonna put the nipples on in case I revisit this and accidentally have a nip slip and just don't remember. You know, I don't really have to worry about that with women. We'll put bras on them, of course. You know, just so we don't anger Twitch. Well, we're not going to put the nipples there just in case I at something happens. I think I've already had some instances where I took the clothes off. You know, there's nothing there, and there was no. I don't think this was showing, but it was like the side view. Yeah, there's really not much definition here. I just wanted to get the shape. Um, I feel like this is good, honestly. There's really not much that I can think of that I can do besides the back, actually. I need to see how the back looks. Now, because the person that I'm looking at has kind of he has like his hands, his shoulders are like not aligned, like he has like one arm raised. You're not gonna, I kind of need a better reference. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then we're probably gonna stop because I mean this is a oh okay it is raining. This is put the nipples on them thing. I can't do it. I wish I could. I wish I could just do it, but I can't. I can't do it. Okay. I wish I could just do the entire thing on stream without Twitch or anyone else being offended. You know, we weren't planning on going overboard. Okay, we were just going to craft a human and be done with it, but people ruined it, so we have to do this, and that's fine by me. But I wish I could. Um, this is a little insensitive. I'm gonna type in Google fat person's back. I mean, how else should I say it? I don't know. Google will understand, right? There's no way that's real. Come on. There's no way. There's not a lot of yeah, there's not a lot of definition there. But I want someone with I want to see what it looks like with someone who does have like definition there. You know, this mainly where the scapulas are. We don't have those actually in the the sculpt. We don't have the scapulas there, and that's basically those big bone plates in the back. If you don't know, I'm pretty sure you do. I learned about that like when I was in grade school. So scapulas and phalanges, you know, humerus bones, femurs. Yeah, femurs. I think humor is the arm. I'm not sure. Anyway, we learned about that stuff in grade school. Okay, it's a really basic anatomy names for certain body parts. Maybe I should have said chubby person's back because we're going a little too far with these pictures. It is not that not that much. And you know, when I put chubby picture, I see all the same pictures. Very helpful. This is exactly why we wanted to make our own references using. Well, we need references to make these references, but this is exactly why I wanted to do this project. So I don't waste any time on Google because you're never going to get something specific. Well, you're never. I'm not going to say never, but it's very hard to find specific things on Google. You're going to find things that you don't want to see. You're going to find things that aren't exactly what you want to see. You know, things like that. I know I can just follow the anatomy that I have, but on a person like this, it's not going to be as prominent, and I just want to see how that looks. That is all. And it's never a straight answer with Google. You know, for all their power and strength and ability, it's still easy to not get straight answers from Google. It's not a great place for that. You know, even though a lot of people always say just Google it, right? That's not always true, especially when you're trying to when you're trying to get references for art. Google is not helpful in that regard. You're better off finding well, I mean, just looking for stock photos in general. But you're going to get more than that. You're going to get way more than you ask for when you do that. And I just hit a bunch of keys on my keyboard. Thanks. I mean, I guess we can try that. I just want to get some really, really, really basic shapes here. And I don't want to use the clay strip because that's going to make them look muscular. So, let's see. We're just going to get our radius together here. And what's happening? Let's save it just in case. I had one crash off stream. I don't know why it crashed. It just crashed randomly. Wasn't doing it. Oh, I was putting a texture. For some reason it crashed. I don't know. Guess it just was too much. I don't know. It just crashed randomly. We don't want that to happen. We're making decent progress here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to put like a shape here so we can get the scapula, there's like this little extra hill that kind of the little extra protrusion here, and it kind of makes this like this hill on the back. We didn't have that. That's what I'm gonna add. We can add that at least, and then the rest of this is just smooth. Basically, that's it. Very simple. That was all I wanted. Something very simple, and that's actually not easy to find on Google. The simplest things. That's why we want to do this project. Once we get it right, and then we can perfect this, and then we'll have the references that we need. And then I'll even go as far as to make it so that if I bend his arm, it'll flex the muscle. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. And like if I turn them, it'll be anatomically correct. Like I really want to learn how to do that. And I know it's possible because I've seen projects where they made it possible the way they rigged it. Like I've seen shoulder rolls, you can see all the muscles turn like it would if an actual person did it, an actual muscular person, of course. I already know how to do jiggle physics. That was actually easy. That was really easy to figure out. I put the for the breast and the butt on a woman. I did that, and that was easier than I thought it would be. Now we can do it for all the fat pads, right? On a person, the stomach, the inner thigh. Um, for someone like this, you could probably just put like a little jiggle in the neck, maybe the back of the arms, anywhere where you can conceive fat. You can make that jiggle if you want. And that's mainly for the gravity. Like I said, if someone is like leaning over something, I don't have to think about how breasts are positioned when they're leaning over something. I could just pose the character that way, and the gravity and the physics will do the rest. Less thinking on my part. Okay, I just draw what I see. That's all I need to do. Of course, we got to make it so that it's the exact it's affected properly by gravity. It's not like gain X um, movements. You know what I'm saying. You ever watch a gain X anime and they make the boobs go like this individually, or High School of the Dead. You ever see that little that gif where the woman has to do like a back lean to dodge a bullet, and the bullet goes in between both of their breasts somehow, and I don't know how it works, man. But that type of physics, we don't want to do that. We want to make it look realistic, okay? That's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for the real. We're looking for real physics, not just like not like that. I mean, you could do that. It's okay if you want to do it, but we're trying to make these a little more realistic, and then we'll stylize them when we put them on the page. Okay, it's gonna be more semi-realism when we got it on the page, and not hyper realism, because that's not as exciting. You're literally just drawing. Um, Basically, you might as well just trace a photo at that point, and I don't want to do that. But I do want a good reference to follow. That's all. That's it. Good enough, at least. Maybe somewhere between uh above the 90 percentile range, if we had to put a number to it. Okay. At least we're gonna try. All right, we're gonna try. Now let me just do his wrists. Oh, we're in his leg. We don't want to be in his leg. We want to see. I want to see everything. Anybody watching those Star Wars shows? I finally got around to looking at Ahsoka. It's very plain. I don't know what's going on. There's always a map that has to be found, and the characters make really dumb decisions. I have no skin in the game, of course. I never saw. I know they're the character. We're supposed to know the characters. I think the characters are from a different show. Uh, what was it? Well, besides Clone Wars, of course. I think it's Rebels. I don't think it's Bad Batch. Rebels. I haven't seen Rebels, but it appears to me that the characters are from a different show. I'm not as invested in it, but I'll finish it. I always wanted to see it because I'm a fan of Rosario Dawson's work. Um, it's good that she is still getting work, and I think she's doing an okay job. But it's just I'm not really super invested in the story. It's a very middle of the road product that we're getting here for Star Wars stuff. Actually, I don't even care anymore to be honest. I'm a super casual when it comes to Star Wars. You know, I can't be invested in it. There was a time where I was, but I just stopped caring. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. It is a very middle of the road show. I will go ahead and see Acolyte because I heard that people are really not enjoying that, and I want to see where they went wrong. I want to see what happens. You know, if I know it's bad, I might watch it just to see the how and the why. You know, I can't pretend to know any better, but I like to see where people went wrong because I feel like that would help me. You know, being someone who is creating their own stuff, and eventually I do want to get into animation, so that'd be nice to know. I mean, we're gonna see actual people moving one day, actual characters actually being animated someday. So it'd be nice to see where people have succeeded and failed when it comes to creating a scene like that. You know, whether it be action or any pretty much anything with movement and camera placement and things like that and story. So I think it's all useful. I hope that even though it might not be as good, I think the last thing I saw was Obi-Wan. And it's only because I like the character of Obi-Wan and Anakin and the Emperor, and they're all in that show. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. I'm not really super invested in those shows, but I do watch them when I feel like it. I'm like, there's no reason for me to be upset. Like I don't even have Disney Plus. Okay, I just use my family has their own accounts, and I just use those accounts whenever they let me have access to their account. So I don't have to pay for it. So there's no reason for me to be upset about it. I'm not super into Star Wars like that anyway. The one thing that I actually really did enjoy that Star Wars that was Star Wars related was Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. I really enjoyed those games. They're very well written too. Other than that, I don't really have a high interest in Star Wars. There's some couple of things here and there, like the Episode One Racer. I really enjoyed that game too. Or Jedi Power Battles. That's pretty fun. Or Masters of Terrace Kasai. That's a very old throwback fighting game. It probably wasn't even a good fighting game, but I have fond memories of playing it. And me and my friends used to quote that game all the time. uh, but yeah, you know, there's no real reason for me to be upset about anything that's related to a TV show or a movie. It's not my stuff. Okay, so I'm just looking at the wrist here. I see there's still a little bit of a inner tube action going. So I'm gonna try to fan that down. Sand it, not fan it. Sand it down. And we're gonna see if we can get rid of that. There's so many. I was very curious. I looked up yesterday, like what Disney's plans for Star Wars. They have so many projects just ready to go. Like I don't know if they're ever gonna come out, but they have at least like 15 things to expect someday in the future. It kind of makes your head spin. It's like, man, they're really going in on this. I don't even know if I'll be alive when the next Well, actually, no. I think they're going to come out with a Mandalorian. I didn't even finish that. Holy crap, I forgot about that. They're coming out with a Mandalorian movie. I think they should have just did that from the start, to be honest. Actually, you know what? No, because between 2015 and what was it, 2020, they released a movie every year. I think that's where they messed up. They kind of made a mistake there, in my opinion. Even if the movies made money, I think they should have spaced them out a little bit more. Because now you got a lot of people who are tired of Star Wars because they kind of oversaturated everything with them. It's much better when you had to wait a while for the next Star Wars movie. Even though if it, if it even if it didn't turn out too well, it might be something. At least they had the time to put some thought in it. I don't know if they actually did or not, but the possibility is there at least. You have very little time in a year for a movie these days. It seems they used to spend a long time making movies. Now they just kind of just turn them out, so it kind of shows in the product sometimes. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna inflate this a little bit. This should be flatter. This should be the only thing sticking out, and all the rest of this. Oh yeah, and you have these little bumps that I already put there, of course. Come on, saver, auto save. Okay, here we go. These little things here, right? That's the I guess those are the back muscles. I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell when you're not looking at like the actual, anatomy. When it's just covered by a layer of skin and fat, it's kind of hard to tell where everything is. I'm not a super anatomy expert either, so there's that too. Now I got to accentuate these love handles here by hold control, and I'm gonna try to get under there just a little bit. Am I doing this right? No, I'm not. I'm doing it wrong. I think that was 7 or 8. So maybe we should cut the undo steps down to 10. Shouldn't have to go back more than 10. I'm trying to keep track of the mistakes that I make so I can configure the system to where it doesn't cause any lag. And undo steps is something that can cause lag. I was comfortable with keeping it at 255, so if I ever made a mistake, I could just undo it. But apparently, that adds lag to your system, or to the program. So we have to learn how to be a better sculptor, apparently. So we don't have to make 255 mistakes in a row. I don't think I've ever done that, but you never know. Kind of, I think we went a little too far in some places, as they say. Oops, it's borderline experimental. No, we're not going to try to rationalize our anatomical mistakes here. We're just going to try to correct them before it's too late. And it's only going to become an issue when we have to make drastic changes after we do the retropology. We don't, because then we're going to have to redo UVs. And that's not too bad, but we don't want to keep having to redo things. The idea is to get more proficient at this. At least I don't know. Failing is a part of learning too. So what in the world? But we will get there. I think we'll get there. Let me see. I think that's a little too strong. That T, it's like a little T area, but it's there. I mean, I can see it. I think we scraped it a little too much there. All right, hold on. Let's cover it and then try to smooth it. That way the indentation is there, but it's not as deep as it was before. And then of course we have to smooth out the T shape that we just added. So there's that. Let's see. I can still see the T. Don't want that. Hold on. You know what? Let me. I think the strength is fine. I suppose. I feel like I still see it. Hmm. Okay. Now let's cut down the strength a little bit. What in the world? Okay. Just a little bit. I'm try to make it more subtle. Okay. That's a little better. I think his back is still a little. Well, you know what? No, it looks a little better, just a little bit. And that scapula is a little more prominent. We're gonna smooth out just the top portion. I want to keep that raised platform there a little bit. Scrape the part down. It kind of makes it look like a hill. We don't want it to look like it has a pinnacle. The pinnacle is really on the sides, to be honest. If you I don't know if I should call it that, but so if I were to draw this raised area would be the only part that I would draw and nothing else. It's all this is smooth basically, and maybe this part here, but he'll most likely will not. I don't think there's going to be a shot where it's like him like this with his shirt off and a drawing from. I don't see myself doing that. But then again, I don't know. Things are subject to change. It's not everything's written in stone. So just want to get rid of those lines right there. We're trying to get to where we can set things in stone, which will be full blown pages. It's basically our goal here. Put it out there. Yeah, all right. I think this is fine. We're not. There'll be tweaks in the future, but this is all I wanted to add. That little shape right there, and that shape right there. And that's pretty much it. I think this part should be more. Yes. Well, at least like that. Like that. I'm gonna look at it from a different angle and make sure that we are not messing this up. There's like a little indentation here that should not be there. So I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. Okay, it's a little better. Like I said, I just want this raised area here. That's where scapulas are. Try to smooth that out some. Take another look at his wrists. I still see that little, like he's wearing a skin watch there a little bit. We don't want that. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna raise the area around it. Uh, come on now. There we go. Come on now. Make sure that we got something resembling a regular wrist. I think we're good with the neck. So I'm mainly just gonna look at the wrist. Try to get rid of these little indentations around the hand, like he's been wearing a watch too long or something like that. All right, hold on. Let me scrape that some. Okay. Yeah, it's a little better. It's a little better. Now let me just get that some. Just going around it, just make sure that it doesn't really have that inner tube look around his wrist. I'm trying to get rid of. I want to keep the bones. The wrist bones are fine. It's just there shouldn't be any other bumps there. So that's what I'm looking for. Maybe we can smooth it because where I scraped the polygons, I can see where I scraped them at. So I want to make sure that that's not there. We want to make them. We just want to make this the area nice and smooth a little bit. And I think that should be good. I don't really see too much there. There's some lines. I can see little small minute lines there. You'll have like veins, I guess, that wrap over. I don't know exactly where the veins should be, but we'll worry about that when we start putting in the tertiary forms. We can put veins in. I don't know the anatomy behind that though, so we're definitely going to need some. I think I do have some references for veins, so we'll have to see. All right, so we are one step closer to completing this. Skin sometimes shows through when you're farther enough away. I don't know why that happens, but we'll be all right. All right. And tomorrow we're going to start the retopology of this character. I think it's time. All right. So I'm going to save it. All right. I want to thank everyone who stopped by today. Um, I think I'm going to play some Shadow Hearts later. So if you want to, if you're interested in that, come by. I'll start at around 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. We'll play it for a couple of hours. All right. And we will pick this up tomorrow morning. Okay. So I'll see you then. Have a great